Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaReal, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile. It is that time for the Gauntlet event. If you guys know, this is my favorite event in the game because it gives you a pretty good opportunity to get some amazing players for your squad. We're going to do things a little bit differently with this video. What I will be doing is discussing the Gauntlet rewards for all players. We're not just going to focus on my rewards. I'm going to do my best to break down the players for everybody that's jumping into the game. Of course, this is if your power level meets the requirement to go into the events, right? So the rewards for this theme are going to include the Blockbuster players, right? I'm also going to give you some tips, and I'm also going to keep it real and help you decide what your strategy is going to be, right? Because there's a way to go about it if you're free to play, and there's a way about it if you're pressed for time or if you're going to be dropping money on some coins. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over the rewards. I'll tell you what they are, if you should grind for these players or not. So we're going to go right into the collections, and we're going to go to the Blockbuster theme. Now for the Blockbuster theme, the rewards that are available, and of course this is based off your power level before the event started. From what I saw, from what I was able to compile, is that one of the rewards, and this is for entry level players, is power forward Emerald John Sally. Now John Sally, I'll be very honest, is not one of the best players in the game. However, for a new player, having an Emerald on your team is going to help you get through the seasons quicker because their power level is a lot higher than gold and silver and bronze. So John Sally will help you in the meantime. He is also going to help you get the 20% style point bonus to grind the event. But overall, John Sally leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to stats. He's only a 2.9 overall stat average, and he has a lot of categories that can use a tremendous amount of help. So you need to have the right gears on him in order to maximize his strengths. The other reward that I saw is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you are a new player, you should be trying to grind to the third tier of the Gauntlet event. Dedicate time to play it over the next couple of days, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will help out your squad. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the best centers in the game. He has a 4.2 overall stat average, but he has a 5 in a lot of very important categories. As you can see, he has a 5 in mid-range shooting, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in rebounding, 5 in defending, and a 5 in post scoring, which means he's going to be a beast down low. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is somebody you should be grinding for if you are a new player. And then your final reward is going to be Ruby Blake Griffin, which Blake Griffin is one of the best power forwards in the game as well. Comes in at 3.9 overall stat average. And Blake has some pretty solid overall attributes, right? He has a lot of 4s in most of the categories. He has a couple of 5s. So Blake Griffin could hold down your team, especially if you're a new player. Having a Ruby is going to be super helpful. Then the next set of rewards will be for players whose power level is roughly like 2,500 or higher. It could be a little bit lower, but based off the example that I saw, the person was 2,500 power, was 2,594 power. Their first reward was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so again, Kareem could help out your squad. The second reward was Blake Griffin, and the third reward was Amethyst Kevin Garnett, who has a overall stat average of 4.3. He is one of the best power forwards in the game for sure. I would even say he's one of the elite power forwards. So Kevin Garnett has a 5 in post scoring, a 5 in rebounding, a 5 in defending, and a ton of 4s across the board. He is a solid player to add to your squad. And if your power level is in the ranges as myself, then you're going to have Kevin Garnett as your first reward. And trust me, KG is going to be good. And Amethyst player still helps out your squad even if you're in the Onyx level and early Diamond level. So don't sleep on the Amethyst players, especially because their power levels are starting fairly higher than the other cards that are Amethyst. And if you take a look at KG, and it's KG, you know, he's a legend. Then the next reward will be Onyx Jason Kidd. I am very excited about going for Jason Kidd because he will be an upgrade over my Chris Paul. Jason Kidd's overall stat average is a 4.2, but he is elite. He is really, really good. Like, if you look at his stats, he's got a 5 in agility, a 5 in playmaking, 5 in defending, 5 in three-point shot, 5 in mid-range shooting, and a 5 on shoot-off dribble. Like, Jason Kidd is legit. And I'm going to enjoy having him on my squad. His power level is a little bit less than Chris Paul, so I might have to use them interchangeably or just put Jason Kidd on my second lineup. And it all depends on what I'm trying to do. If it's for events, I'll go with Chris Paul, but in head-to-head, I might run with Jason Kidd. And then the top reward is going to be Diamond Karl Malone. Now, Diamond Karl Malone, just like Kevin Garnett, has a 4.3 overall stat average. Karl Malone is really, really good in this game. He has a 5 straight, 5 in rebounding, 5 in defending, 5 in post scoring, 5 in mid-range shooting. Like, he's going to get the job done. Off a pick and roll, you guys already know it's like Stockton and Malone, right? So you got to utilize that to the utmost potential because he's going to be picking and popping those mid-range jump shots. It's going to be so good, right? So those are the rewards for the Gauntlet event. And I hope that this information will help you determine if you want to grind for these players or not. Personally, since I have Diamond Giannis, I'm not going to grind for Karl Malone because Diamond Giannis is just too good. If anything, if I do grind for Karl Malone, it would be to have somebody on my second squad. But I also got Porzingis, so I'm not like in a huge need for a power forward. But I'm definitely going for that Jason Kidd. Now, here's the tips, right? If you got through this video, you got up to this point, then I know that you guys are excited about the event, right? Because there's some good rewards. But you got to really be honest with yourself and figure out how soon you want to get the rewards, right? There's 2 approaches, right? The first approach, and we'll go with the free-to-play approach first. In order to maximize your points, you need to have your Blockbuster players to get the style point bonus. If you have been playing the last event, then you should have some collectibles from the fantasy finals and from the mini domination. Craft a player if you need to, right? Use your reward players, right? Some of you guys have either Kevin Durant or Julius Erving, but try to craft another player to go alongside with them. Obviously, you can't craft Karl Malone if you got Durant or Julius Erving, but craft a position that you will not be earning from the upcoming rewards, and I'll give you more information with that. If your first reward is Kevin Garnett, don't craft a power forward, save your collectibles. If your first reward is John Sally, then don't craft a power forward, right? You try to craft LeBron at a small forward, or craft Kevin Durant if you could. If your first reward is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar center, then you should be okay, right? Because there are no other centers that you can earn from this event unless you got Dwight Howard from the last event. But that was a little bit tough if you guys' first reward is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that's really the strategy to go with getting your style point bonus up. Now, the second thing you got to consider is how to maximize your points. You need to use your point doublers and your triple event energy at the last quarter of the last game. You have to. Also, you need to figure out what bracket you're comfortable playing. When you look at each bracket, it tells you a power level. The safest way to beat that bracket is to have your team be at least 300 to 500 power higher than the last match, because the last match is more difficult, and if you're trying to go for 100% style point bonus, it's going to be really hard. The first 3 or 4 matches, you can go through it with getting 100% style point bonus. After that, you have to start scaling players back. So you might go with an 80% style point bonus and add in your highest power player from your main squad. Once you do that, once you get up to the 5th or 6th match, you need to go 60% style point bonus and add your best 2 players. And for the last match of the event, it's quite possible you might still need to continue that strategy, right? So it's really difficult to get 100% style point bonus in the end unless you're able to upgrade all your players to maximum power, maximum star rating. And I don't think it's a good choice of investing your training material into players that you're not going to use after this event. So that's my advice for that, especially if you're free to play. Now, if you're going to be buying doublers and you're going to be buying energy and you're not in a rush, do the same strategy and just keep using those doublers over and over. But if you're in a rush and you want the card quickly, right, because you want to drop some fire gameplay for your community, right, which is usually what I try to do. I try to get the event done before my Saturday stream. So I basically use point doublers at the end of every quarter of every game and triple event energy point. So the way I would do it is I will start with 6 energy first match. I'm doing triple energy points at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the second quarter, which means I have 4 energy that I use for that first match. So now I'm left with 2 energy. I wait until I get more energy refilled so I can go through another 4 and continue that way. If you have a lot of coins, then refill your energy after your last match so you can continue going. And that's really the fastest way to get through the Gauntlet event. So it's up to you. You're going to go free to play. You're going to be paying for doublers and energy. You can do it the mellow, grind it out through the entire 4 days of the event. Or you can get aggressive and try to finish it in 2 days. So that's the strategy for Gauntlet. I hope that this helps everybody, as I try to think of all levels of players when I made this video. And I probably gave you too much information. So if you do have a question, feel free to drop a comment down below. As always, I will answer it. For the most time, I get to the comments like almost immediately, if not within a couple hours. So, and that's pretty much it. All right, so again, thanks for all the support. I appreciate it. Share this video with everybody because it's going to help you grind the Gauntlet event. All right, so again, thank you. Peace out.